There we go. All right. So, river brook pose, couple brook pose. It's got a lot of different things. We can think like water flows. It has the curvatures. So something under the knees, just so there's a little support there. Our hamstrings were overextended. And then what you'll want is something to go perpendicular with your spine. I have a single bolster and a blanket folded up on top of it, and then something back here that I can roll up a little bit to support my head and neck. And so today, I'm just gonna actually leave it unrolled. It actually feels pretty good to have it out. You can have your arms up and over, or you can have them out to the side. But the back of your heart is supported by the prop horizontally. If that doesn't feel good, just, I will be back to check the screen, but move the blanket or pillow down so your shoulders rest over it. That might feel nice. I have been nursing a little one for about 3 months, so my shoulders are they're a mess actually. And this can be very intense at first for me, but it does eventually start to feel real good. We get to open up the heart, the collarbone, the tops of the shoulder heads. We're going to be here for a while, so make it comfortable. If you fall asleep, you fall asleep. Don't sweat it. You probably needed it. If you feel like the mind is wandering, it's just kind of all over the place. If you can bring your awareness to your breath, start to hone in there, the physical self, the energy moving in us and out of us and around us, that prana. When we practice pranayama, we bring conscious to the unconscious. It's a little breath effort. What normally does the work on its own, which is the lungs, the breath moving in and out of our bodies, keeping us alive. So feel the belly expand, maybe a little resistance as the spine is in a back bend and extension. Take it all the way to your collarbone as you inhale, and then allow it to move slowly down as you exhale. You can feel your breath, right? If you feel the ground beneath you, the props supporting you, you're allowing a little bit of that presence to settle in. And that's what we're working with, is this presence, this ability to arrive where we are. Take note of our experience. Try not to categorize it or judge it. If you're feeling tired and lethargic, then you're feeling tired and lethargic. If you're feeling really energized, you have like a rush of adrenaline moving through, your mind feels scattered, then that's your experience right now. Be okay with whatever it is. Not trying to control the situation. That requires effort for us outside of ourselves to engage with the world in a way that's really action-oriented, and we just want to be. So be where you are as you are for a few rounds of breath. Notice if any tension is starting to creep into your jaw, your shoulders. The space where the neck connects to the shoulders, where the skull connects to the top of the neck. Around your eyes, your forehead, your toes, your arches, your fingers. There's room to release a little bit more as you pay attention to where you are. Finding a comfortable breath for yourself. As you hold the pose, know that the mind will wander, and be gentle with yourself. Be generous with the grace and compassion that you're working with today. When you wander off, come back. Use the sensation of the lungs, maybe count the breath, invite it to be long. Maybe harmonize the inhale and the exhale by balancing them. Inhales as long as the exhales. And when you get that bit of focus back, where you can settle into the pose, wherever you are in this moment, then you can go back to that natural breath. That pranayama, a tool to help us center. Notice where the breath expands in the body, where the shape encourages the breath, gives it some room to move into, and then maybe where are the places where you're feeling a little contracted in this, and the breath feels a little restricted. Might be met with a little physical resistance. Whether that's on the exhale or the inhale or both or neither. Take note of the sounds around you. We have music playing. Take note of the air around the skin, the temperature in the room. As you focus, take note of what happens with the breath. Do you hold it? Does it flow through you? Make these observations. Take 5 more breaths in and 5 long breaths out. You wrap up these last couple breaths in this pose. Maybe give yourself a little more room on the inhale at the top of the collarbone. Maybe hold. As you exhale, feel the breath travel down through the torso into the navel. Maybe you feel the energetic release all the way into your tailbone, your hips. Down to your feet. As you inhale, let it reach up to your crown, travel up the body. As you exhale, feel your back body melt in where you are. You can work your way out of this pose by maybe walking the feet in first. Kind of natural movements that work for you. And I suggest tipping over onto a side. You can move the props out of the way or push up on the ground with your hands to support you. You'll find a seated pose for just a few breaths. This R&R really a practice for us to hone in on what works for us. And the energetic response in the body will often be the cue. In this type of practice, it's like a flower bud opening with naturally occurring. So we're trying to spend time with ourselves to figure out what organic ways in which we want to stay, we want to hold, we want to transition, and taking a few suggestions along the way. So once you're seated, let's just take a deep breath in. However you got there, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And then open the mouth. Let it go. Notice if your shoulders drop a little further. Take observation of that release. One more time, breathe in. Expand the ribs sideways and forward and backward all at once. And then exhale. The physical release and energetic release. You can keep the eyes closed or softly focused and open. We're going to take our arms out to goalposts. You're just going to exhale, twist to your left. Pause, take the elbows slightly back, breathe in. Then exhale, twist a little bit more from the navel. Inhale to center. Take your time, it's a long breath in. Elbows slightly apart. Exhale, begin to twist to your right. Breathe in, drop both elbows back. And then exhale, bring it out from your heart, middle of the spine. And then inhale through center. As you exhale, you're going to twist again to your left. This time, right hand can come to your left knee, and that left hand can come behind you. It can even wrap around the low back. I'm in hero's pose, so the ground feels a little further away. I have to be really on my fingertips. And you can just rest your forearm against your back if that works, if that's available for you. That feels all right. You can open the front of that left shoulder a little bit more. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then inhale, unwind. Take the twist on the other side. Left hand to right knee, maybe. Right arm around the back if you'd like. Breathe in. And then breathe out, bringing it out. Inhale, unwind, come through center. We're going to take this into a fold next. So you have a few options. I suggest sitting up on a blanket or rolling up part of your mat. So your hips have a place to settle into. You have a block. You can use this as well. We're going to take Kurmasana, tortoise pose. So the feet are together, the knees are apart. And make more of like a square or diamond shape here. Your hips can be slightly lifted onto the blanket or prop. And then I like to block when I start this, usually on my feet, because I can get pretty deeply into a fold. You might end up even resting your elbows on your block and you can like cup your eyes with a little pressure with the heel of your palm resting on your cheekbone. And again, the body will give you an energetic response. There'll be tension if the pose is awkward, right? It'll be uncomfortable if the shape isn't working. You might feel it in the glutes, the knees, you might feel it in the back. So today my body doesn't really need the blanket underneath the hips, and I might move that out of the way. And it might need to go a little bit lower so I can get a deeper release in my low back. But the fold is here to take of your own. We won't be here nearly as long. And then start to pay attention to your breath. Are you holding it as you move into the pose? When we tend to tense up our thoughts, our lungs tend to tense up. When we hold and restrict the flow of prana. We're trying to encourage that flow state within ourselves. So on the outside, our lives can maybe more so align with a flow state. The idea is that we work with ourselves and get to know ourselves where we're rigid in our lives. Like the flow of breath and prana, we can inquire and therefore evolve to become more flexible. And that might mean sometimes in our joints, right, in our tissue and muscles. But that's all connected. The mind, the body, the energetic self, our hormones, it's all connected. You can't separate them. Just work with your muscles, just work with the mind. It all is in flux within ourselves. So take note of the energy as you take this shape. Is there tension? Is there resistance? Is there flow? Is there expansion? Really take deep breaths way back into the back of your lungs. As you exhale, do you soften and melt in further into the fold? Whatever you observe, try to meet it with grace. Try to soften the glutes, the hips, shoulders, the jaw, the muscles on your face. Let's take just another minute or two here. Take our 5 deep breaths in and out. Again, for these last couple rounds, observe as you take a deep breath in, there's a little more room to go into the upper back. Much of our lungs are behind us, so really into the shoulders. Can you feel the exhale take you deep into your sit bones? Allow you to energetically root into the ground beneath you. Breathe in from where your feet meet up through the crown of your head. Exhale, feel your front body soften towards your low body. And once again, organically aware of the energy, the experience, come out of the pose. Maybe that's walking your hands in to support the ground beneath you as you start to stack your spine back up. Maybe you keep the feet together or bring the heels closer to the groin. You can take cross-legged or hero's pose as well. Maybe your spine wants a little wiggle from side to side. You choose. You make your way there. A couple more breaths. Inhale fully and exhale. Sigh it completely. Once again, a deep breath in. And opening the mouth, exhale, sigh. Left hand will rest on the ground beside you. Right arm will reach up, breathe in. And as you exhale, side bend to your left. Let the left shoulder drop. Inhale to the right lung, the right hip to right armpit to right fingers. Exhale here. And then inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, settle in. Sit bones rooted, crown high. Right hand down, breathe in, left arm high, and then exhale, bend to your right. Fill up your left side. Then exhale, soften in. Inhale, sit up tall. And just a super quick Shavasana today. We spend about 5 minutes in rest pose. So your most comfortable version of it, it might be blocks underneath the hands. You have 2 blocks. I always recommend that. Your shoulders will settle into that shoulder girdle a little bit better for most of us and allow us to relax a little bit deeper. A blanket just behind the head can be really nice. So a very thin layer just under the very tip top of your shoulders and the back of your skull. The flat beneath the base, at the base of your skull is beneath the occiput. You can rest there, even if you want to bolster behind the backs of the knees. You can have as many or as few props as you'd like. The energetic experience, we're working for is that natural opening, like a flower bud opens into blooming. We want to be supported by the props. We want them to do the work. Trying to reduce the effort in our joints and our muscles so we can truly rest. When we think about our energetic state, there are very few things like showing up in life feeling rested. I feel like as a mother of 2 children, feeling rested is goals always, and sometimes hard to achieve. And these practices, they encourage that, even if it is just for these short moments in time. So get there, find your most resting, relaxing pose and support. And we'll hold for just a little while longer. Let the breath flow through you. From your effortless breath, take note. Sounds nearby, sounds far away. The air around the skin, the temperature of the room, the way clothes cling to the body. Invite a slightly efforted breath, a little conscious to the unconscious, making the inhales a little longer as you focus on them. The energy within it shifting, tuning into the present moment, exhaling a little longer, letting go. Find your deep, rhythmic flow of breath. The inhale might be longer than the exhale, or vice versa. It might be balanced in time and length. Harmony looks like you will look different than anyone who might be physically around you or in on this experience at this time. We work with what we've got. We've got this prana existing within us, connecting to all things. How will you work with it as you come out of this last pose? What thoughts will you let it carry through you the remaining moments of this practice? Our thoughts reflect as energy and translates to tension or release in the body. So without judgment, just observe. It's not honoring you. This focus last week, our wholeness, right? Not allowing to support that wholeness, then maybe restructuring the thoughts, something compassionate, something gracious for yourself as you come out of the pose. You can walk the feet in, come onto a side. Where you begin again, how you begin again, carrying it with you, very intentionally, your breath, the energy. You'll come to a comfortable seated posture. And for this, I recommend something under the sit bones, the hips, to just elevate them slightly above your knees. Take a deep breath in, sit bones to collarbones to crown of your head. Exhale, sigh, shoulders soften, glutes a little bit, knees. Plug in through your sit bones, breathe in along the length of your spine, reach up through the crown like an antenna. And exhale. Feel yourself center in the center of your being, around your heart. So once again, breathe in. Expand your heart forward and backward and sideways. And exhale. A gentle softening in. Your right hand will, you can do thumb and index finger. You can have like a little crab hand, a little claw clamp, okay, for your right hand. And your left hand, you can choose to just rest it, or I like to bring thumb and index finger together. Palm up or palm down is totally up to you. Those of you who practice this maybe and we'll start. I know we had a Star Wars comment on our email. This is Star Trek. I get it. But you can bring your index and middle finger together and curl them in. This might be really hard to see from the screen. So this is personally how I prefer to do my right hand. And this way you can nostril breathe. The clamp also works, or just, you know, one thumb and index finger can participate. So we'll just take a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing here together. I'll guide us through it, and then you'll take some rounds on your own. And then we'll soften with just a super short bit of seated just breathing before we close out. So left hand, thumb, and index finger together, right hand, your choice, with the index and middle finger curled in, or however you like. And just take a deep breath in, open the mouth, exhale. You're gonna seal your right nostril. Begin to breathe in through the left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seal the left. And then open the right as you exhale. Right. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Seal the right. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Breathe left. 2, 3, 4. Seal. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in right. 2, 3, 4. Seal. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in left. This is the start of the cycle. Breathe out right. You'll breathe in through the right. And then exhale just through the left. And that's a full cycle. Beginning the inhale through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Breathe in left. You might feel a little stuffy. It's okay. Allergies are very normal. That unevenness. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Breathe in left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Last one here, guided. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. You'll take 3 full cycles on your own. One whole cycle is finished when you exhale out the left nostril. It begins with the inhale through the left and ends with the exhale through the left. After that last cycle, this alternate nostril breathing, you'll just find your natural flow of breath, the natural curves of your spine. Observe your energetic state. Your thoughts flooding your mind? Are they racing by? Is it hard to think? Is you just feel free of thought? Attachment to those thoughts, I suppose. Keep paying attention to the natural flow, your state of being as you are. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, a gentle sigh. Palms will meet over the heart, chin dips towards the chest. Gratitude for your effort, your dedication, this ancient practice, reminding us of all that we are. And then lifting the thumbs to the third eye. May our potential, our power, our possibility inspire our thoughts, our words, our actions, behaviors, habits, our samskaras, the patterns in which we move through the world. Bowing forward to your practice. Namaste.